So yeah, here's what happens if you bring Agate to the Ravens fight. They're part of the Ravens, a gang that used to hang around over in Ruin. They recently passed the exam to become junior braces though. Hey, the hell are you guys doing here? And this is pretty much the same. Time to pay you back for working us to the bone, Agate. Here, show me what you got. Remember what I said after your exam? You've got the strength. How far you can go after this is just a matter of experience. Make sure you put as much into your bracer work as you did into that battle. You can't resist a chance to act like our teacher, can you? Hang around just long enough to say their piece and then off they go. And that's pretty much all you get out of that. I thought it was a little bit more substantial, but at least it's something. Okay, Silverthorn, 20 Mirage, 12 Space, 4 Time. Okay, I swear this is not an excuse to hear this song again. I guess it kind of is, but I was told something in the comments that I wanted to try out. A pretty amusing way to fight Philip, so, it turns out that these Emerald Servants are not immune to Confuse. In fact, it's one of the few ailments that they aren't immune to. So if we cast Silverthorn and confuse them all, and I'm going to go with and double up on it just in case something bad happens in the form of, yeah, my caster getting S-crafted in the face. So, yeah, all 4 of them just got confused. Now, does that alter the trajectory of their attacks or not? I guess we're about to find out. Doesn't look like it. Oh, they're going for each other. That's kind of unfortunate. I wish they'd target Philip with the Arts Defense down attack. We didn't get to see this during the main fight though, but this is their attack that isn't the Arts. Oh, also apparently Chloe just got Arc Drain. This is that thing that I said was kind of awesome yet impractical. Didn't realize he hit the whole field, though. Yep, still going for each other, and doing more damage to each other due to the Arts Defense debuff. Huh, that attack on Chloe just inflicted Agility down, which I think is a very rare debuff. I don't see that often. And, well, I guess that's how Arc Drain works. Oh, and Philip's immune to Arts Defense down anyway. I mean, at least they do decent damage to him, but... Okay, yeah, turns out that's actually not really the best thing to do in this fight. I mean, it's fun to watch them debuff each other, but... Yeah, it doesn't actually help you defeat Philip as much as I'd hoped. It still neutralizes them as a threat to you, though, and I guess that's the main thing it has going for it. This strategy, I mean. And with that demonstration out of the way, welcome back to Trails in the Sky the Third. Last time, yeah, things happened. And this time, somebody's dotting down there. Oh, it looks like it's Reese. But, my notes say to talk to Richard after defeating Philip. We looked into Philip's history back during the time the Intelligence Division was active, too. He has an interesting background, being known as the Sword Fox and possessing 5 exceptional techniques in combat. That said, he's been away from the front lines for over 20 years now. And that's all. Well, at least it's a little bit of background. What did he think of this time? Well, you know, honestly, I kind of feel like Mueller might have his eye on her too. Okay then, I'm not gonna ask her what she was reading. But yeah, you might notice here that I have gone with Shera, Annalise, which I need Annalise for the next dungeon anyway, and Zin. I want to level up Zin a couple of times because I plan to use him against the next boss. Shera's here, she's pretty behind in levels, but she'll hopefully catch up. Also, I think I have a new weapon that I can get for her. Yeah, this actually gives some pretty good stats. So this was a random drop that I got from some of the enemies in the 5th plane. And we will soon be getting something that will assist us with getting random drops. I wonder which is the closest to where I need to go. I'm just going to go here. So yeah, if you want to grind stuff in the 5th plane, I would recommend holding off a little bit, because soon it's going to get a lot easier. Why not? Yep, that pushes Shera up a few levels. Zin gets Supreme Smite, and Shera didn't learn anything. Okay, finally, you get to turn into something. You turn into Chloe. Haven't seen that before. Okay, let's see what she does. I wonder if she actually has Comfort. Nope, she's just choosing to use a rapier on me. What? Okay, that was a graphical glitch, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, maybe Grimoires using S-Craft has strange, yeah, effects. Because, yeah, Grimoire Kevin, or Doppel Kevin, should I say, is the actual name, could use Grail Sphere back during that fight. Preparing to use arts, okay. Targeting Kevin. Oh, it's just Aqua Bleed. Yeah, I was worried that it was something like Cyclone F. It hits pretty hard, though. I also think that the individual Doppels have their own item drops as well, so I think Doppel Chloe might drop something decent, like magic-wise. But yeah, if you want to completely... True Aid Lift Blitz, nice. If you want to completely fill up the monster book, which there isn't even an achievement for doing, but if you do, you will have to let those things transform into everything they can possibly turn into. And yeah, the 6th plane is so big that, like, look, this is the monster notebooks page for bosses alone on the 6th plane. We have barely scratched the surface here. And then here are the regular enemies in the 6th plane. But yeah, Doppel Chloe, does she drop any? Yeah, Vorpal Sword +1. And immune to Mute, fittingly. Of course, the monument that I need is the last one I'm gonna check. Oh, I actually think that I wasn't supposed to know that we needed Annalise for this one yet. I jumped the gun a little bit there. The face of the monument is glowing and words are visible on the surface. The Lord of Phantasma does decree. Here lies the looking glass. And what Alice found there. Place your hand on this monument. The sword-wielding dame among your number. So yeah, this one's actually kind of confusing because this could mean Julia as well. The looking glass. That's got to be the name of our next tourist attraction around here. Still, the sword-wielding dame. We've got a few women with us who fight with swords. We've got our pick. Yeah, it could be Chloe as well, but Chloe was already used. But personally, I think it's Annalise. I don't know, I mean, it's a cool-sounding title and all, but does it really fit me? Still, I guess it doesn't hurt to try. So if you don't have Annalise, you'd probably get a different conversation there. And we have to sit through this again. So yes, it was her. In a sense, I'd kind of prefer it was Julia, because I feel like Julia's got a little bit shafted in the story since we first got her. I mean, I'm glad that she joined early. It just feels like, apart from her chaincraft, there hasn't been a whole ton of reason to use her. Oh. Oh, hey, I know this place. Yeah, Kevin would know this place, but not a lot of others would. This is that Ouroboros lab that, we fought those creepy Joshua dolls in and Estelle got kidnapped at. It's the Lakeside Laboratory. Yeah, the one that Ouroboros used as its base of operations in Liberl at one point. Can't say I'm excited to be back here. Oh, now I just kind of wish I'd brought Ren here because she probably would have had unique dialogue. Something seems kind of odd about it. I get that same feeling. Well, let's go and get a closer look. Maybe we'll find out what it is. So, if you have a very good memory of SC, you might already know what's off here, but yeah, we'll get to that. We can kind of just look around the edges of this place. Those doors are sealed shut. Fortunately for us, though... Wait a second. Wasn't this door on the left side of the building last time we were here? You're right. I wonder. And before we go in, I just want to say that my favorite dungeon theme in the game is back! The Arcades and Parts Factory? But this was... Wait, then... Here to greet us already, huh? No, how dare you take away my favorite dungeon theme in the game. What? This song's still pretty good, though. I don't mind it being replaced by this. Yeah. Talking's gonna have to wait. Let's roll. So, we're introduced to the gimmick of this dungeon right here, and this is why you always want to have, yet more reasons why you want to have information on at all times. Reflects art used against it. Good thing they force Annalise for this segment, so you'll always have a good physical attacker. Although, yeah, I guess we can try out Supreme Smite. But if you can get the Jinnu, Annalise is considerably weaker than most of your other physical attackers, so there's that. I had to charge Shera up with a few, where is it? Heaven's Kiss, with a few CP items so I could do this. It's still the problem with Shera as a caster, is that, like, you really want to be spending most of her turns using Heaven's Kiss. Oh, this could be fun. Because Chain Crafts always count as physical, so with all of them gathered, I can do... Chain 3, Annalise, Kevin... why not? Let's put Shera in this too. Nice dive kick there, Zin. Okay, good. I was hoping that it would get rid of all of them, because it would be really embarrassing if it didn't.
They messed with the wrong guy.
Huh, Shera didn't level up out of that. Phew, those things sure weren't fun. I beg to differ, they weren't really that bad. That was a nasty surprise. At least now it's clear as day what's going on here. Yeah, this whole building's layout has been flipped around. Kind of like it was reflected in a mirror or something. Well, whatever. It doesn't look like that's the only trick this place has up its sleeve. Let's keep our eyes peeled. Right. No one else has anything to say. So, I will say that I love the fact that this music is back. But this is my least favorite part of Sky the Third. This dungeon is exactly the same as it was back in SC. It's just mirrored. Including all of these keycard spots. We're gonna have to do this entire keycard backtracking puzzle to get all the chests. Yeah, it's like, if you haven't played SC in a while, it's not that bad, but if you've played SC recently before going into this one, this really is just a reused dungeon and it's kind of a pain. But it does still have this theme. But anyway, Mume Jitetsu. This is a sword that makes me very sad. You take my stuff, I take your stuff. And honestly, it kind of did. It took the Jinnu's status as Annalise's strongest weapon. Yeah, this is the first point in the game where the Jinnu is outclassed in terms of strength, and again, that makes me very sad. However, it still has better stats elsewhere. I could probably afford to not use the better strength weapon for the time being. But yeah, like, the Sky games are games where you really, really want to be upgrading your equipment all the time. These things, by the way, its armor is tough, so it doesn't mean that they're totally immune to physical attacks, but they may as well be. Physical attacks suck, so for this dungeon, you want a mix of physical and magical attacks. And yeah, it's also fitting that while we are forced to bring Annalise here, we're also forced to bring Kevin, because I kind of want to, yeah, be a little bit stingy with my EP, because we're going to be using a lot of it. yeah, Kevin's a good magic attacker, Annalise is a good physical attacker. You'll always have the tools you need to overcome these enemies. I'm glad those things don't outright reflect physical, because that would make them almost unbeatable if you didn't, have any EP left. Be thankful this chest doesn't have teeth. I guess that's like a mimic reference. But speaking of the chests here, something else that I want to talk about is that, so the chest tracker that you've seen me make throughout this playthrough. Would you believe me if I said that before the end of Chapter 6, we are going to have the chest achievements? Yeah. The dungeons in Chapter 6 are ridiculously heavy on chests. And that only gets even more crazy the further you go into Chapter 6. So, the last dungeon, the Monochrome Schoolhouse, had 15 chests. This dungeon has a lot more. The dungeon after it has even more. That's which respawned that Vogel for some reason. And yeah, now we can get into the main entrance for whatever it's worth. And the dungeon after that has even more. Even before we've finished all the dungeons in this chapter, we are going to have the chest achievements. And like I said at the very beginning of this game, you don't actually need to get every chest in the game for this. There are quite a few chests after Chapter 6, so there's a lot of leniency when it comes to this. Oh yeah, by the way, these things here, Mirror Vanguard, they also reflect art, so I guess now's a good time for Pedal Dance. There it is. Basically, yeah, there's a lot of chests in this place. So, yeah, kind of interesting that. Fort on Zen, I suppose, even though True Distend would have, been better. And, right, Kevin, just shoot it. Oh, I probably should have tried Gorgon Arrow. Yeah, the good news about these things is that to compensate for the fact that they're immune to arts, their physical defenses are very low. So, yeah, even unbuffed physical attacks hit them very hard. I believe, yeah, they do explode though. And having a combination of self-destructing and, were you there before or were you just hidden? A combination of self-destructing and requiring physical attacks is actually pretty dangerous. So if you have any, like, ranged physical attacks, like Agate's Dragoon Edge, I think it is, if you got that, that works pretty well against these things. Shouldn't really be using Soul Blur since it has pretty low, like, bad cast time, I mean. Like, it has high cast time, it has the opposite of low cast time. Dropping Celestial Bombs is good, though. Cased in Jelly. When I said give me some space, this wasn't exactly what I had in mind. Napalm Meats. Merchant accidentally dropped me here. Please don't leave me alone! And Gold Crests. It is said that ignorance is bliss. Tell me, is that true? Are these gold crests to blame? They give +5 speed. They're not to blame. They're great. Let's take that. And we have a red keycard door. While I'm here, I can also talk about, yeah, the music as well. Liking this song this much, I found is a pretty unpopular opinion. Like, a lot of people say this song is a good song, they just don't really think it's their favorite or anything out of the, Did I take your Ruby Gem, Kevin? I thought you had Cyclone Napalm. I guess I must have taken the Ruby Gem from him. It's kind of hard for me, because I'm not a music theorist or anything, it's hard for me to describe exactly why I like this song so much. Oh, right, I swapped that up for a Sapphire Gem. Because... Oh, I did that so I could give the Ruby Gem to Shera so she could have Cyclone Napalm. I'm not actually sure if I agree with that decision in hindsight, I'll have to come back to that. Well, that's new, I guess we gotta fight that. Okay, good, that was a preemptive attack. And that there is Ebony Vanguard. Darkness, Dementia, Tara, Raven, Way Vanguard. Armor is tough. Okay, so yeah, that's one of those things that you want to use arts on. And you know what? Since these things self-destruct and their armor is tough, let's just hang back. I mean, I did want to test out to see if, Petrify works, but I can do that later. Oh, right, there was a... You see, that's the annoying thing about these. This is also where rotating the battle camera with the L and R, the L1 and R1 buttons, or whatever you've mapped it to, is useful because, yeah, these things are really good at hiding stuff behind them. That was very sneaky. And I'm going to be eating another reflected attack because I didn't notice. Oh no. Don't confuse myself, please. Oh, also Zin's going to eat an explosion because he walked forward, unless the explosion has very short range. Okay, good, I don't get confused. I mean, at least the explosions kind of charge up your CP a bit. Okay. Is Petrify okay on you? It is not. Right. Okay, then. Well, let's just punch you to death. Kevin's getting pretty high in the levels. Ingenuity. Tempting, but the chest is too heavy to take with you. Once again, I'm reminded of that thing in Link to the Past. I mean, we have pretty much an unlimited inventory, so there's no real reason we would want to take a chest with us, but I guess it would be kind of fun. So, we cannot proceed further without a red key card, so I guess we know what we're getting. Also, there's a save point here. That's very ominous. Well, actually not so much a save point, because, you know, you can save anywhere, but a heal point. I do like the fact that you can save anywhere in the Trails games. Okay, now, is the thing gonna confront us right after we... Also, I have low mirror, and that's because I spent a lot of it on getting more ingredients to make swing witches and other things like that. Okay, no, I'm pretty sure that... Yeah, there's a red glow before the boss door. So, okay then, let's go. So this is also why I don't like this dungeon. Hey, Annalise! Also, you said haha, which means that we should add that to the haha count. Yeah, someone's kept count of the number of times. People say that in Cold Steel, and it's pretty high. But higher in the Japanese version than in the Xseed localizations. Actually, no, the Xseed localizations kept it about the same. The Nisa localizations toned it down. But yeah, I'm desperately looking for things to say here. Glad you made it. I'm guessing everything being reversed made navigating this place a pain, though. Not really. Grant! Oh, if it isn't the priest who saved our bacon the last time we were here. Funny coincidence. I wasn't expecting to end up fighting you here again, especially not like this. So are you not real either? Yeah. Still, I'm close enough. What? Well, wait, this is just like when you were pretending to be a Jaeger during our training. Heh, I wouldn't want to try pulling the same trick twice, but I can still have him back me up. So come on, show me what you got. So this is Grant teamed up with copies of himself when he was disguised as a Jaeger back during the prologue of SC. Other than that, though, we're fighting exactly the same bosses that we fought in this dungeon the first time we were here in Sky SC. And yes, it's not just Grant, we're gonna have to refight the other braces as well. Yeah, this is not really my favorite part of the game, but anyway, we can use Whirlwind Dance here though. Pulling these things in for good chain crafts might be helpful. And now, okay, yeah, firstly you need to use True Distend to buff your strength. And then you need to Heaven's Kiss. Unfortunately, the Jaeger copies are immune to Confuse. I really wish they weren't, but yeah, sadly, here we are. Okay, what is Kevin gonna do here? In fact, he could... Let's see if I can... Dark Matter EX, and if this was Sky SC, this would have been amazing. In fact, I'm pretty sure you would have had access to Thunder God Kick at this point in Sky SC. How about you... Lowering your own defense while you're in the middle of 3 enemies is kind of a bad thing. Also, these things like to inflict Feint. I have Feint protection on some of us, but not everybody. Oh, that's a canceller, okay. Yeah, that's the feint attack, and thankfully she resists that. Please don't die. Okay, good. I like the sweeping arc they do with their swords there. But anyway, I can do this and lower their movement. Now, I wonder if I do this, maybe I could actually have everybody else pull back, and Annalise is probably going to lose her CP if I don't use this now. I feel like I've very rarely used Annalise's S-Craft. And yes, Cassandra Lee Morris. It's just kind of interesting how she's actually been in every Dubs Trails game. Whirlwind Blade. Oh, that's probably an area attack. And it's a knockback attack too, which is gonna severely work against you. Because this means that, yeah, that's actually, yeah, that's debuffing your movement really helped out there, because it means that as long as, like, it means that we're gonna be out of their range for the most part. But first, I would, which is the, okay, you're the one that's going next, okay. I mean, I don't want to end up punching them into range of us, but I can punch you further to the side. Slightly further to the side. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I guess I didn't actually use, not Silent Cross, I didn't use Zodiac earlier, although Grant's probably going to try and cancel. Anybody I can Heaven's Kiss? Let's Heaven's Kiss you. And if I use don't even have enough CP for Whirlwind Dance, because I just S-crafted. Also, she went down, so she lost her strength buff. I don't actually like walking closer, but I guess I can try that. I don't think I've ever seen him do that before. Which should tell you how much of a threat this fight can pose to me. It's actually giving me a little bit more trouble than it usually does. Okay. Are you in range for Thunder God? 2 of you are. Just trying to think whether or... Oh, there's a crit turn coming up. Yeah, okay. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and... I have a speed boosting food, don't I? Okay, Napalm Mid is that. Q is Seal, Mute, Confuse. Okay, yeah. Fist Skewers is what I want here. And then, when I get the crit turn... You know what? Panic Button. Oh, wait a minute, that only hit 2 of us. Well, I guess his Whirlwind did do something. And now, we use Patrick Sight's Yelling. Okay, yeah, that was pretty good damage. Murderous Rage, okay then. I'm kind of curious to try, like, to let you do that, because I'm honestly not sure what it is. Or I could... I'm assuming that that doesn't cancel, because that looks pretty special. I don't want Shara to go down here, because if she does, then she loses the experience, and she needs it right now. Guess I can then get the Napalm Meat recipe in my log. And, well, that's not good. I wonder if... Okay, the Jaegers are going to go next, though, so... If I walk back, are they going to be able to hit anybody? I don't think so. Nope, we're not able to do anything. Okay, there's Big Bang. Faint, but not as much of a blow as I thought it would be. Now you need to get rid of your blind. I think it's Purging Balm. Okay, and now I will go for Dark Matter EX again, and I guess I'll... No, I'll do this and pull you closer to that edge of the arena. Xin, no, I think Xin might be able to... Nope. We can get closer, though. But yeah, this will pull them closer to there. See, this is why Dark Matter EX is really good. Like, it's not only a strong, skill, and also debuffs movement, but it can also be used to outmaneuver enemies by positioning them in places that are convenient. You're still fainted, and there we go, finished. You weren't even worth that much experience. Well, I guess we are getting pretty close to our expected level at this point. Once again, Grant, your genericness knows no bounds. Man, I thought victory was as good as mine when I had you surrounded, but I totally underestimated you guys. Holy hell though, Annalise, you've sure started packing a real punch since we last fought. Well, I've got you and the others to thank for that. Do you really have to go? Looks like it, I'm afraid. I'll bet you don't need too many hints on who you're going to be fighting next. Don't go losing, okay? You beat me. You gotta beat the others too. He's gone. Well, that wraps that up. At least we managed to eke out a win. It sounds like our next foe's gonna up the ante though. Yeah, but we're gonna win next time too. Before we move on though, what the heck is that? Well, if you've been following along with the gimmick of this dungeon, you could probably realize that that is mirrored text. Now, I'm not in the habit of going around carrying a mirror, but when I was doing like a test playthrough of this, I realized that I could use my phone as a mirror to read this. And it says, investigate one of the 6 gates that manipulate the flow of the Iron River. Then shall you obtain radiance. I mean, if you're good at reading backwards English, then you might be able to do that too, but we also get the red card key. Well, I get what we're meant to do with that card key, but what's up with that message? It looked like... yeah, even the computer's text has been flipped. Someone's pointlessly thorough. Yeah, it's kind of interesting how that's pronounced like more like thorough in the US, but it's definitely thorough in British and Australian English, but... Speaking of English, in this case, reverse English, that right there is a hint at something. It's not considered a chest, but if we backtrack a little bit, we might be able to get a reward. And of course, we have to backtrack anyway because we need to use that keycard. Here we go, that one's red. One keycard's red and the other's blue when you play this dungeon's party cruise. And there's a tantalizingly out-of-reach star door. And here is one of Ouroboros' duplicate reveries that's, broken. Sleep 2. You briefly imagine what it would be like to be stuck in a box for decades, only to be stolen by an adventuring treasure hunter. That's actually kind of disturbing. Not quite as disturbing as that item in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon that turns you into an item. And, like, that turns, like, Pokemon into items. And it's actually possible to have one of those rebound onto you and get a game over that way, which is also horrifying. But that... Where is it? Okay. The flow of the... I am going completely the wrong direction, aren't I? Okay, here we go. So, the flow of the Iron River, it's this thing right here. And if we check one of these, we get a huge amount of Seepith. You can get that before you've got the backwards message, though. This is not one of those event flag cases where you're not allowed to look for something unless you know you're supposed to be looking for something. You can get that, and there's going to be one of those in every floor, but I'm going to try and avoid picking them up until I've shown the clue, just because it makes more sense that way. Now, I am pretty sure that that is everything on this floor that we can currently do. And so, we need to insert the red card key, and head up. I thought it was going to be stairs. No, it's actually an elevator to the next floor. And I think that is going to be enough for one part, so I'll see you next time as we proceed further through the Looking Glass.